Greetings everyone, this is Manasvi Bansal from the Heritage Academy, Department of Media Science, and I welcome you all to another exciting episode of the Heritage Pod. Today we have with us someone really special, a young entrepreneur, an educationalist, an innovator. Who doesn't know the Techno India group and the man himself, Mr. Meghdut Roychowdhury? His vision is one that makes him a trendsetter and the change maker of our age. He is a true inspiration to not just me, but millions out there, and I'm damn sure about that. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, Manasvi. Thanks for having me.
Without further ado, we'll start with the podcast. So, my first question to you will be that you started your journey at the age of 19, and myself, I'm of that age, and I clearly know that most of us don't have an idea what we want to do in our lives. So, what inspired you to take that leap at such a young age?
I think I always had an entrepreneurial blood in me. I guess you can't take that away. I come from a family of entrepreneurs, so very blessed to have come from such a family. And then when you grow up from a very young age, going and meeting potential partners, prospective clients, then I think this is something that builds within you from early on. Coupled with my love for music, I think my first entrepreneurial venture very much was dependent on my love for music, and I knew I wasn't a great musician myself, but I did understand what sells in the world of music. So I started my recording studio from there, and I've never looked back on that, and I somehow continue constantly innovating as we go along. I love building new companies. I love building new projects. I can't say I'm great at running them very much.
Definitely are.
So no, for that I have good teams. If you see around my office, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of sound that we hear from there as well. It's my teams are always super active, and I hire very young people like yourself. If you're interested in coming, and if this excites you in any way,
definitely you will.
Feel free to come and intern with us. And we hire a lot from the colleges of Calcutta, of course, from Techno India colleges, but also all of your colleges. In fact, my first employee, Rupal, she's from Heritage.
Oh.
Yes, and she was a cancer researcher. I don't know how she ended up working with me, but she continues working with me. It's been 8 years that she's been with me, and we have a great working relationship. And now she's got a team of her own. And so I bring in people who are much better than me at running things, and then I just love innovating. So I keep building new things.
That's very wonderful, and I'll definitely do an internship here, and I'll try to work in this group because it will be my honor working here. So my next question to you is, people out there see you as a person whose life will not be that filled with challenges. They feel that everything is smooth and easy in your life. But I definitely know that there are challenges that you would have faced while building your career. So can you share some challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
I think I'm inherently a very optimistic person. I think if one thing can be said about myself as a self-assessment, my superpower is that I am always optimistic.
Yeah, I know.
So in general, I think it also shows beyond me. Even if for people who have never met me, I think that's one thing that is very clear to see. I think you must have heard about the Make Calcutta Relevant Again campaign, and how the movement has been growing. Every day of the movement is a challenge, right? Because if it's about a city that a lot of people don't see a lot of hope in, then every conversation I have about it is a challenge. Every time somebody says something like, is this even a possibility? Is it ever going to happen? It's a huge journey that we've taken on.
Yeah.
It's a journey of changing an entire city, its society, its young people, bringing people from outside back to the city, invoking energy and imbibing energy into the city. For that, you need to have a very strong belief in the work you do, and an endless amount of optimism, and these are my two biggest weapons. So going along with it, challenges are happening every day in the life of an entrepreneur is just things going wrong. For example, today, this particular meeting, I was so late, and I apologize to the audience who are watching this. I'm not perfect. Like, I gave a time to Manasvi and said that we're going to meet at a particular time. And I was an hour and a half late for that. And this is perhaps the most late I've been at any meeting in the last few months. But I am apologetic and I am respect. I try to be respectful of other people's time, and you might be a little bit younger than me, but I know your time also means something. I need to wait, and I was not reachable on my phone.
Yeah.
I see this as a big challenge of my day. The fact that I was not able to make my calendar work for all the people who I was sharing my calendar with, you
Yeah,
included,
exactly.
I think was a big challenge. I received 12 missed calls in the time I was not here, which means I have missed potentially 12 meetings or calls while I
Yeah.
was there, stuck in another meeting. Now, on one side, I could say, hey, you know what? I could make a very big thing, and no, I was very busy and sorry I couldn't do it, etc. But on the other side, if I take that challenge as an opportunity to learn and get better and apologize in public, I have no qualm about it at all, saying that I messed up and I could have done better. And
No
I
one.
hope that I can learn from it, and I hope that you can learn from it as well. And whoever's watching learns and says, you know what, we gotta sometimes accept the things that the way they are, but by taking some steps towards getting better at solving that.
Exactly.
So, my challenge of the day.
When I was studying about you, this thing that your optimism is something that really inspired me also, because negativity is all around, and finding that source of being optimistic and spreading happiness is not that and everyone can do. So thank you for being that optimistic and inspiring people out there.
I'm not doing it to inspire people at all. This is just who I am, because in general, when you're amidst a negative environment, in which we end up receiving from the world, because you look at news, you look at media, it sells. You have negative media that gets so many more likes, comments, people read about it, make news stories about it. Not that many people share stories about happiness, not that many people share stories about optimism. And I'm not saying we're doing everything right, but the things that we are doing right, we have to share it. Right? We deserve to share it. It's our responsibility to share it.
So my next question is, as you mentioned that you're working with Make Calcutta Relevant again, people are moving out of the city for growth and new opportunities. You did not. You chose to stay here. So what is the thing that connects you this much to the city?
It's not. You're not entirely right. I did leave, but I came back. There's a difference. Okay. There's a difference, and it's not a problem that you're seeing today. It was also the problem that I saw when I was growing up. Most of my friends don't live in Calcutta anymore, which is also very sad. My best friend lives in Singapore now, and that makes me very sad. That we could not do anything, and he was super well paid already in the city, and there were opportunities that he created for himself, which were much better for him. But he still went out because he saw a better life for himself there, and you can't blame them. You can't blame anybody for that, right? Young people have a lot of options today. They have options to go to the next place as soon as they see something is not working out where they are in the local environment, which is why they will change their reality and go to another place. I can't blame them for that. What we can blame is ourselves, the older generations, for not doing enough to keep them back, to not create opportunities, whether it be in terms of having more entertainment in the city, more entrepreneurship in the city, more employment opportunities in the city. And that's what I work towards. I've decided that my identity is so linked to Calcutta. It's always been this way. I can't explain it. I've always loved growing up in Calcutta. My first 22 years of my life, 21 years of my life were in Calcutta, and I came back because even the entire time I was outside, I still have companies outside. I still travel quite a fair bit, but I know that the place where I have the most amount of impact to make is my city, and it's intrinsically linked to my life. I have it tattooed on my arm. I am not messing around with this. This has become very much an important part of my life, and I hope to continue doing it.
That's really wonderful. You're a father of so many startups out there, and people when they are in the startup journey, they get driven by innovative ideas so much that they lose practicality. How one can balance practicality and innovation?
Very nice question. So I think what people are looking for inherently is not innovation. I work with enough startups to know that what most people are chasing is an idea that they believe works. There's a difference with chasing innovation. I chase innovation in a lot of the cases. I am able to chase innovation and balance it out with practicality because I am purely passionate about every single thing I do. I also know that not everything I believe in actually makes sense. So the way to deal with practicality on this, for at least for me, is that I work on things that I believe need to be done. Not all of them work. Some of them are way ahead of their time. When I see that it's not being accepted by the people, I let go of it and move to something else. It's as simple as that. I need to be clinical about my failures, know that this doesn't work, so I will get rid of it. I will nip it in the bud, spend my time doing something else because I'm learning. At least even if that was not a success in my terms, at least I learned something from it and I was able to move on. Now, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
We tend to get very emotional about our work because, oh, I've built this, which means it's part of my identity, and this is something bigger than you don't realize. It's very complicated, if I stop doing this, then it will cease to make sense for my life, will cease to make sense. I think the only project in my life that I think it has that kind of magnitude, perhaps, is Make Calcutta Relevant Again as a campaign because it's inherently part of me, part of who I am. The way that we are going towards it is ever evolutionary. It's changing every day. The idea of what we mean by this campaign, what it means to people, how they get attracted, how they contribute is changing. Things that I thought would make the most amount of impact when I started this campaign versus now is very different. I've realized many more things mean a lot more. Like for today, I know that building another global IT symposium in the city is not going to make Calcutta relevant. But serving the poorest of the poor in places where they don't get, where they have not seen a happy moment in the entire last year has a lot more to do in terms of rebuilding trust and hope and faith in people than in servicing a few people who might not even want it that much, right? So these are learnings that I have as I go along. I'm trying to decouple my own image from the campaign. I don't want this campaign to be about me. I want this campaign to be about everybody and this city's people, because at the end of the day, it's the people who are going to make the city relevant and keep it relevant. And it'll never reach a point. There is no success. One could say I am on a failing ship because it will perhaps never be as relevant as I would like it to. But should we stop trying?
No.
Right?
Never.
So this is my endless enthusiasm with a sense of like not being too attached. Like, okay, if it doesn't work out, we'll try another way. Maybe this way is not right, but that's not the end of the path for me.
Definitely. That's really true. We cannot stop trying. Moving on, I would like to talk to you about your startups of Beat CCU and Technopreneurs Surrogate Ventures. They have reshaped education and entrepreneurship in the city. So what do you envision about the future of the startups and how will it turn Calcutta into a global hub?
So both of these that you mentioned now are not really startups, if one may say. Both of them are enablers. Offbeat is an enabler for other people in education to grow and promoting alternative education for adults. That's the reason with which it was built. And from Offbeat, I've built 17 brands so far. Each of the things we have, like from the gyms to the cafes to the restaurants to the co-working spaces to the backpackers hostels, everything has had its own time and share. They are still there because it's still relevant for people to come. Some things which did not work out, like we had tattoo studios, didn't work out, we have gotten rid of it. Something else has come up there. We started music production studio, which grew too much and had to move to a different place, which is fine. But not just like our lives are ever evolutionary. Things change the same way. Our businesses and things we do are also ever evolutionary and they keep changing. Technopreneurs, I think, was a big failure that I made because I was trying to adhere to a Western model of entrepreneurship ecosystem building, which was maybe a bit too early for Calcutta. There was not that much of an ecosystem. We did do some good things about it, but as a concept, I think it was a bit of a failure. But something interesting came out of it, showing the good things that happened with Technopreneurs. We were able to achieve this unheard of thing in West Bengal, which is we became the first incubator that was supported by the central government. And we got a huge grant to support innovation in the state. Right? We became the only Atal Incubation Center supported by Niti Aayog. Now, again, going back to your question before that you asked about the challenges, I could have said, hey, this was a failure and gotten rid of it and said, okay, you know what, it doesn't matter. We'll do something else. But I took the lessons, took all the laurels, all the good work that went into it, converted it, changed the storyline, made it a positive storyline, took it to the government and got a funding out of it, which is then going to help a lot more people.
Exactly.
That's how I deal with everything in life.
Wow.
I find a way to change the script, turn the page, change the story. We'll find something. If you put in your energy into something, it must mean something at some point of time.
Yeah. Like people nowadays say that it's your story. If you don't like the ending, change
Change
it.
the stories, change the script. Yeah.
That's really wonderful. You started the first international design school of the city. What was the idea and inspiration to start it?
The inspiration was bad billboards across the city. I'm tired of driving on AM bypass and seeing ugly, cluttered, badly designed billboards. And I'm like, my city is so beautiful, has traditionally always been so beautiful. We've got beautiful colonial architecture. If you know, also we're doing this project where we're illuminating some of this colonial architecture. We've taken up this challenge, 500 buildings that we want to change the facade of and illuminate them. And the same way, when we were thinking about it, was like, why doesn't Calcutta have a design school of global repute here? And we consider ourselves to be a very creative city and culturally relevant city. Then why don't we have a design school? Well, what kind of big city doesn't have that? And it paid off. We have been able to collaborate with even huge Durga Pujas, with global artists. We've organized the Kolkata Design Festival week on week, and year on year. And now we have two design schools. In fact, we have the Essence Design School as well, which is for sustainable fashion design and sustainable interior design. And it's growing. These are niche schools, small little schools if you see in the overall scheme of Techno India. But these are things that you need to do in order to push the ambit of what the city is, what it stands for as young people, how we're able to serve them.
That's wonderful. You're a great multitasker, hands down. How do you juggle between these various roles and responsibilities?
I don't very well, apparently, because I was late for this interview so much. But it takes a team. I think it's not something I'm doing by myself. Today, I think if I had actually planned it a little better, I could have been a bit more on time. But I also have an entire team that makes sure I don't get late for meetings, and some other people can take on the responsibility. So what would have happened if this was not an interview? It would have been a meeting. Then my chief of staff would have come in and seen that somebody was waiting and taken on the meeting and waited for me to come for the finishing of the meeting. Every meeting does not necessarily require me. But this was an interview. Probably somebody else doing the interview on my behalf would not have worked. So which is why, again, sorry that it took a little bit of time.
It just happened.
It just happens. But there are lessons in all of that, right? And it makes for a conversation as well. I'm accepting that things went wrong.
It is also a learning phase for me as well.
Yeah.
This can happen, and for me, how to tackle it is what I should learn from this situation.
Exactly.
So it is beneficial for me as well.
Exactly. So everybody learns, everyone grows.
Exactly.
That's what we must, I think, at all points of life, not take ourselves too seriously. This is one of my biggest mottos in life. I try and keep my inner child alive very much. It's why if I've made a mistake, I just apologize and it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. And one or the other way could be like, going away from the problem, but the other one is just deal with it. What's going to happen? You're not going to hate me because, that
not many people have that attitude to accept.
Yeah.
And it is quite, like, I should learn from this because if I learn this thing at this age, when I grow in my career, I'll actually be more successful than other people who cannot accept if they have something has gone wrong.
Perhaps. And then not only have you had a good podcast for your college, but you've also had a life lesson.
Exactly.
It's even better, perhaps. Yeah.
Definitely, it is better for me. So what will be that one moment in your career that that is the it moment, like when you felt that, yes, I have achieved something that I've wanted or something like that. The most defining moment of your career so far.
It's a full, clean, bold question because I don't have any answers. I don't think I've had an it moment because I'm I am a very, very aggressive hustler, which means I am constantly setting rules for myself which are bigger than the last one. So I have some moments of joy or victory. I think with the Make Calcutta Relevant Again movement, every time we have a very good drive, like this 25th of December, for example, we had a drive with 2,000 kids, and
Yeah.
we did something at the Maidan with Kilo Rugby. We fed
Yes.
them. We had an amazing time that we spent with them, and that could be said to be a defining moment because I felt humbled. I felt like, wow, my time and energy can change somebody's day, can make their. I felt like Santa Claus, like, I can. This is awesome. I can probably wield so much energy in that little period of time, and everyone comes and hugs you and thanks you
That
for the work.
joy.
It's joy because it's all about the human moments. I think it's not really about a business moment. At the end of the day, what sets it, it's like little human moments. Last year we started School of the Future at Techno India, and now my first year students got to go to the Google headquarters to
Wow.
be part of a session where they were able to pitch their ideas at Google. There's no other university in the entire country which has been able to do that for its students. So
Yeah.
I can think of that as a defining moment, but it was not the joy of seeing, oh, you know what, we have so many students, thousands of students in the Google ecosystem, and we've been able to do something great in terms of numbers. It's the joy in seeing the faces of my students who could not believe that they were at the Google headquarters pitching a project in their first year. So
Definitely.
all the moments actually come from very human moments, and it's. I think if we keep doing that successfully all our lives, I think we'll hopefully keep being young and keep wanting to do more and never be satisfied about things that we do.
Definitely. That is something. I don't
Something, something what?
something like I can actually relate to the students. Like if I imagine myself in the first year at that place, it will be a dream come true. So
Or if you're in media, it's be the equivalent of you getting to be at the Fox Studios or
God.
go to Dream World or some place which you have only seen in movies,
Movies, yeah.
or in your own dreams, and then it becomes a reality. So it comes from there. It comes from an inherent need to do things for other people. That's where my drive comes from. It is.
At last, this is my last question to you. One advice, or what advice would you like to give to the young minds and students like me out there, so we can grow and nurture into a better human being as well?
I think because you put the last term in there, better human being, I think I have to now change my answers. When you said if you had an advice, my advice would
Go
have been
ahead.
to be shameless, because and ask for things, ask for your place in the world. But when you said to be a better human being, I don't think being very shameless is going to make you a better human being. It's going to probably make you be perceived as a worse human being, because you take up too much space. We don't like people who take up too much space. If you want to be a better human being, and this is something that you are looking forward to, then be a good partner, son, daughter, member of society. Give back more than what you get. Think about the people around you more than yourself, and what better, and not just other people, like other animals, other creatures. Think about your future generations. Be good to them. Don't use more than what you need today, so that the future generations will not get what they need when their time comes. So we are sharing this world with 8 billion other people.
Yeah.
It's not your own world. It's not my own world. Whoever's watching, it's not your own world. And if you want to be a good member of society, then one must act like you're part of a bigger collective. So good luck on that journey. And if you're in Calcutta while you're in doing these things that we spoke about, feel free to reach out and join us in any of our initiatives, any of our projects. We hire lots of young people like yourselves, and feel free to collaborate on stuff that you're building with, or if you need advice, reach out like Manasvi did. She said that if I had not said yes to the interview, then she does not know what she would have done. I think she does know what she would have done. She would have found somebody else to interview. but she did not, and she waited for an hour and a half for me. So that shows resolve from her side as well, and I'm glad we spoke.
That's my, I am glad that I had this opportunity. Thank you so much for taking out time from such a busy schedule, doing this for me.
I'm glad.
I'm really blessed. I'm honored, if I would say that, because
My pleasure.
it's having you sitting next to you. I mean, I did not imagine that, I'll move to this city, do this course. After 6 months, I'll be sitting next to you and having a chat with you. So thank you so much.
Dream higher. I think you can do much better. You can be sitting with much more influential people. Keep dreaming.
I'll keep dreaming. Thank you so much for your time. This is Meghdut Roychowdhury, the man himself, signing off. Have a great day ahead.